What's up, spooky people? My name is Griddy and welcome to the Spooky Corner. And today I got another Christmas video for you. Let's get into the Christmas spirit. And today I'm going to be telling you about 5 creepy Christmas creatures. Some of these you may have heard of, some of these you may not have heard of, but together me and you are going to celebrate one of the greatest times of year by checking out these creepy Christmas creatures. So sit back, relax, get your gingerbread cookies, get your eggnog, get your hot chocolate, and let's get scared together. Alright, so I got my iPhone here with all my notes on it. Now, I got bad eyes, so I gotta use the iPhone. I can't look at a thing from across the room, so bear with me here. But I'm gonna be looking at some creepy Christmas creatures from around the world. These are from different parts of the world. Different countries have their own Christmas traditions. Now in America, we really don't have any kind of creepy Christmas creatures, but around the world they do, and you will be surprised at how messed up some of these things are. Like, yo, these parents are really out to scare the shit out of these kids. The first one is one that most of you probably know about because he got his own movie. He is the star of the show, so I'm gonna kick it off with one that everybody should know, and that is Krampus. Krampus is a horned, like, demon character from Germany. And back in a couple years ago, I don't know exactly when the movie came out off the top of my head, but a couple years ago, he rose to superstardom because he got his own movie. The guy that made Trick or Treat made a movie about this German, like, demon who travels around with Santa Claus looking for little kids who have been bad, so he can run in their room with a stick and beat the shit out of them. This is actually one of the most tame Christmas creatures on the list, which is surprising. This is probably a story that people tell their kids so that they can just beat them on Christmas Eve if they've been bad all year. Like, this is the one time a year that the German parents can just bum rush the kid and beat his ass for being bad, and then when they come out like they can just be like, well, you shouldn't have been bad, I don't know what to tell you, it was Krampus. Krampus also, he just doesn't beat your ass with a stick if you don't heed his warning from last year. So he'll beat your ass, but if you don't listen, if you're not a good boy or girl next year, he'll just throw you in a sack and then throw you in the river. In Austria, they actually have something called Krampus Fest, where a bunch of guys roll around drunk as hell, dressed as Krampus, and they basically start fights and act a fool in the streets. And the police are out making sure that none of these Krampuses get too out of hand. Krampus has been gaining a lot of popularity in America because, if you don't know, in California, they got something called Krampus Fest. So if you don't know about Krampus now, make sure you watch the movie and get ready because he is rising. And who knows, maybe in a couple years, kids will be talking about them getting beat on Christmas because Krampus is making his way to the States. So watch out, kids. Watch out for the stick. Things are gonna get a lot more weird. This is just the beginning, guys. The next creepy Christmas creature we have is Hans Tromp. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this comes from like a bordering city between France and Germany. So it's like, I guess they both enjoy the Hans Tromp tradition. Now this one is pretty messed up. This one is a tale about a man named Hans Tromp who was said to be around in the 15th century. And this guy was a greedy, filthy bastard. He rolled around being just a nuisance, being mean, getting into all kind of nasty stuff. He was a Satanist. And basically the Catholic Church got a hold of Hans Tromp, and he had a meeting with the Pope. The Pope caught Hans Tromp and he was like, hey bro, we don't appreciate you throwing dirt on the Catholic name, going around doing all your greedy, rich, satanic stuff, so we're gonna kick you out. He got excommunicated from the Catholic Church, and when he made his way back to his village, his whole village was basically like, hey Hans, we're tired of your shit. So they kicked him out of the village, and he had to go live in exile in the woods. And while he was there, he grew mad. He had no money, he had no people. So basically he was living in this shack in the forest. And he slowly became madder and crazier and crazier. And his satanic mindset grew, and eventually he started getting into cannibalism, and all he could think about was eating human flesh. And one day this all came to a boiling point, and Hans Tromp decided to make his way out of the woods dressed as a scarecrow. And he decided that he was gonna hide out in the field, gathering hay and sticks, waiting for his victim, waiting for a nice, juicy, delectable treat to eat. And he found his first victim, which was a little boy who was out doing, like, he's like a sheep herder or a sheep keeper, I don't know what they call it back there, but he was basically working with the sheep. And Hans Tromp pounced on the boy, caught him, and brought him back to his shack in the woods. And here is where this boy's life was about to come to an end, because Hans Tromp was about to go through with his cannibalistic fantasies and eat the boy. But guess what? The Lord intervened. God came down and was like, yo, blah, blah, struck Hans Tromp with some lightning, and Hans Tromp was dead. But now they say, the people of Germany and France say to the little kids that, why would you tell a kid this story? I don't know. This is a fucked up tough story to tell a kid about cannibalism and all this stuff, but it gets worse. They tell the kids that Hans Tromp comes out every Christmas, his spirit comes out every Christmas dressed as a scarecrow to enter the kids' rooms and stand above them, drooling, watching them as they sleep, thinking about eating them and tasting their flesh. Now, I don't know how this has to do with kids being bad or good, because it doesn't really say that he does this to bad kids. He just basically says he does this. And I don't know how Christmassy this really is. Like, this kind of bothers me because this really doesn't have a Christmassy feel. Like, you know, Krampus is out with Santa, like, beating kids up. Like, it's kind of fun. He's out on Christmas with Santa. But Hans Tromp is just a fucking weirdo who's out to just eat kids. He's like a pedophile, like, John Wayne Gacy guy. I don't know why they tell the kids this, but the German and the French people love to scare the kids. And that is the story of Hans Tromp. Let's move on from this one. This is an Icelandic creature called the Yolcat. This one is pretty funny. This one is pretty dumb, actually. Alright, so this is about a big ass cat in Iceland who is said to come on Christmas night and eat children who don't have new clothes. But the backstory behind this is from farm people. So from like families who farm, they tell their kids this because they want their kids to work on Christmas. And when they work on Christmas, they get new clothes. So if the kids work all day, they get a bunch of new clothes and everybody's happy. But if they don't work, they don't get the clothes. So basically they're just basically telling the kids like, hey, work on Christmas or the Yolcat is gonna come and eat that ass. I guess this is a good way to get the kids to work, to sweat it out. Let me tell you this, if I was in Iceland, just knowing me, if this was a thing around here, I would probably, if the Yolcat was real, I'd get eaten. Because I wouldn't want to work on Christmas. And I don't even wear clothes. When I sleep naked. So if the Yolcat was coming around looking for people, I'd be the first one he would eat. So let's move on to the next one. This Christmas creature is called Perchta. Alright, Perchta is an Eastern European witch who roams around not just on Christmas, okay? She has a whole 12 days. This Christmas creature is said to reward kids for doing good, but this is the kicker. This is great. This is my favorite one. If the kids are bad, Perchta will come and rip the kids' guts open, take the kids' guts out, and fill it with garbage. What a way to scare the kiddies. Forget Cole, forget Krampus beating the kids up. If you aren't good this year, guess what's gonna happen to you? This witch is gonna come, she's gonna rip your guts out and fill it with trash, and then you're gonna be dead. Like, are they they're this extreme? Do they are the kids this bad that they gotta go this hard and make the kids think that a witch is gonna come 12 days out of December? So if you're not good for the 12 days, it's not just one day like, whoo, I'm safe, it's Christmas. Like, no, from December the 25th to the 5th, I think it is, or the 6th, I think it's 25th to the 6th. If you're a little bad, if you're a bad kid, this witch is gonna come and rip your guts out. Next up, and last but not least, is GRIDDY. GRIDDY is also an Icelandic creature. She's said to be a woman who comes out of a cave on Christmas to capture and cook bad little kids and serve them in her favorite dish, which is kitty stew. Now here's some fun facts about GRIDDY. GRIDDY is said to be the mother and the ringleader of the Yule lads. Just like the Yule cat, there's also the Yule lads in Iceland. Iceland got it locked down on Christmas creatures. They got the cat, they got the woman, GRIDDY, and then they got these Yule lads who are the children of GRIDDY, and these little gnomes come around basically punishing kids. It's like 12 little gremlins. Another fun fact is that she has been married 3 times and has 72 kids. She's a pretty busy woman, you know, when she's not cooking kids up. I mean, maybe she has so many kids because throughout the year she has to make this stew, and she can't be taking all these kids from the villages, so she only got one day to do it, so she has to make these babies to make her favorite stew, because 73 kids is a lot of kids. 3 husbands, I don't think this is between 3 husbands. I think she got some other guys on the side. GRIDDY is a busy woman, definitely the busiest of all. Alright, so I did tell you that I was gonna tell you about 5 Christmas creatures, but I'm gonna give you a bonus round. I'm gonna give you 6. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to a Christmas urban legend from the Netherlands, and this one is called Black Peter. This one has stirred up a lot of controversy over the years because people celebrate this tradition by painting their face black and dancing around the streets. So there's like a big controversy about like these people in the Netherlands wearing blackface. But basically Black Peter in their country is a little midget guy that rolls around with Santa, kind of like Krampus, but he's all black because he lives in the coal mines. And when he comes to the kids' homes, if the kids aren't good, he leaves coal in their stocking. Not a bad, you know, not too bad. It leaves a little bit off Santa. Now Santa's not the bad guy. He doesn't leave the coal. It's Black Peter's fault. But if you don't heed the warning, if next year you are a bad kid, Black Peter's like, oh, word? Oh, okay, I got you. He brings you to the coal mine and works you to death. And if you happen to stop working, he'll just eat you in the coal mine. That's just a little bonus for you right there, just in case you needed a little extra. These dudes in Europe are on some next level punishment stuff. They got witches and demons coming after these kids. They got like pedophile cannibals. It's wild, man. It's wild. Now, those are all the creepy Christmas creatures I got for you. There's some more, but these are my favorites. These are the ones that I felt like needed to get some shine. Now, let me know 6 feet deep below in the comment section which one of these is your favorite. Is it Krampus? Is it GRIDDY? My favorite is probably Perchta. because she rips your stomach open and fills it with trash. I mean, what sick bastard thought of that? And who tells the kids that? I mean, come on. So that's my favorite. I also love Krampus. And let me know if you would tell any of your kids these Christmas stories. Tell your kids these and see what happens. Tell them about GRIDDY. Tell them about Parsta. Tell them that their stomach is gonna get filled with trash. But that is all the time I got today for the Spooky Corner. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and of course, come back next time for some more spooky stuff.